Welcome to Portal. This is now the game we are playing.
The portal will open in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so this is a game where you have to solve puzzles using portals. That lady is GLaDOS, and she is going to be ruining our lives for the remainder of the test. This is a button.
No way!
And this is a very heavy block. So heavy, in fact, that it can push down the button. We're also heavy enough to push down the button. So now that that's out of the way, let's begin.
Please place the wasted storage cube on the 1500 megawatt aperture science heavy duty super colliding super button.
So basically what she wants us to do is to grab this and put it on that.
Perfect. Please move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
Got that.
You're doing very well.
So basically what she wants us to do is to grab this thing. This is a portal
Very
gun.
good. You are now in possession of the Aperture Science handheld portal device. With it, you can create your own portals.
So yeah, basically we can now shoot portals using this thing. Also, every time you go through this, it takes a portal away. Just thought that was important to mention.
Please proceed to the chamber lock. Mind the gap.
So we want to get over there. To do that, we can place a portal on this wall, walk through that portal. Now we want to get over there, so we can place a portal on that wall, walk through the orange portal, and go into that blue
Well
portal.
done. Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.
Wow.
Welcome to Test Chamber 4. You're doing quite well.
I'm sure you know the drill. Cube, on button, open door.
Excellent work.
Now, bit of quick information. Portals can only go on white, flat surfaces. So you see these black panels and grey panels here? Can't put portals on those. Alright. So, there's a button up there. And there's also a button down here. So, here's how we do it. We come down here, place a portal here, we go through it, which is on the orange portal, which is on this platform. Now we can come down, place our button here. Now if we go back onto that platform using the portal that we just made, or creating a new one because it's more convenient, we can then shoot a portal onto the other side, go through here, collect our box, walk down, place it on the button, and beat the level.
Job. As part of a required test protocol, we will stop enhancing the truth in 3, 2,
So, basically what this thing is it's like a charging thing. It's an energy particle. When it hits these receptors here, it powers them. And that then powers them to do other stuff. Now, if you haven't noticed, orange portal here, blue portal up here, the pellet goes down, hits our charging point, and now we can go on the left and, yeah.
Warning devices are required on all mobile equipment. However, alarms and flashing hazard lights have been found to agitate the high-energy pellet and have therefore been disabled for your safety. Good. Now use the Aperture Science unstationary scaffold to reach the chamber lock.
So if we place the portal up there, we can just jump down this and jump onto that. Parkour.
Please note that we have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck.
So, yeah, basically, you can't touch this. This is, yeah, no, you can't. That's not, we don't touch that. So, basically, this, what? Okay, anyway, so, basically, we want this high energy pellet to hit that receptor so that it can activate this bridge so that we can get all the way over there. How do we do that? Well, we send the pellet through this portal so that it hits the wall. Then when it bounces back, we change the portal so that when it goes to the orange portal, it goes out facing our receptor.
Very impressive. Please note that any appearance of danger is merely a device to enhance your testing experience. The Enrichment Center regrets to inform you that this next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it.
Now basically what she's doing here is lying. This test is very much possible. First of all, what we want to do is we want to take our cube up to the top, send a portal through our window, hereby passing the Emancipation Grill that would vaporize our cube.
The apologizes for this clearly broken test chamber.
Now that we've gotten past this obstacle, we can simply place the button on this.
You remain resolute and resourceful in an atmosphere of extreme pessimism. Hello again. To reiterate previous warning, momentum.
Like, okay, so if you can imagine it, this portal, right, facing out this way makes it look like a doorway. So if we place it downwards as we fall down, our gravity then shifts so that what is then downwards is now that way. This provides us with enough momentum to be able to complete that sort of jumpy maneuver thing. And this is the logical extreme of that. By placing a portal down and then jumping through it, we give ourselves enough momentum to launch ourselves across a gap.
You appear to understand how a portal affects forward momentum, or to be more precise, how it does not.
I'm sure you can see where this is going. Orange portal on the ground, blue portal up here, momentum, launch.
Momentum, a function of mass and velocity, is conserved between portals. In layman's terms, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out.
Yes.
The Enrichment Center promises to always provide a safe testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice. For instance, the floor here will kill you. Try to avoid it.
How useful. By stepping on here, we can then press this button, which will activate that door. We can then shoot a portal into that room. Oh. Hold on a second. Anyway, by going through this orange portal, we can then get to this high energy pellet. We can then place a portal on the high energy pellet and wait until the orange portal changes so that it's facing this way. So that when the pellet goes through, it hits our receiver here, providing a lift, from which we can then go through and get to the gun. After we wait for it to stop moving.
The device device has been modified so that it can now manufacture 2 linked portals at once. As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact. The device is now more valuable than the organs and combined incomes of everyone in
Subject hometown here.
Well, isn't that nice? But yes, now we are in control of both the orange and blue portals. The tests are going to take us a little longer because, well, now we're in control of both portals, but that doesn't matter. Because now we can do the most important thing of all time. The infinite loop. So, basically, this is another one of those momentum tests. Portal goes on the ground, other portal goes on the ceiling, or on a wall. We jump through portal 1, and get flung out of portal 2. Hey, there we go. Now if we get that box that conveniently jumped out of that box dispenser, then we can place it on this button, which will then activate the door. And now we just got to make that same jump again. We indeed.
Now that you are in control of both portals, this next test could take a very, very long time. If you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out. An intubation associate will be dispatched to revive you with peptic salve and adrenaline.
Technically, she's actually right. These last 7 tests are going to be a lot more complicated than the previous 12. Why? Because they are. But I'll explain this one to the best of my abilities. By getting this box that's on the top of the shelf and placing it down on the button, we then can open this door and get an access into the secondary chest chamber. However, these 2 buttons activate that door, but there's only 1 cube to place on a button in this chamber. That's because the second cube is right here opening this door. So what we do is we place an orange portal on that wall, come down here and grab our button that was opening that door, walk through the portal that we've already opened, and place it on this button. Now the next thing we want to do is get this thing moving across so that we can place a portal on this top shelf, drop down onto it, get that box, and place it onto this button. How do we activate this? Well, we've got our high energy pellet. All we have to do is simply place one side of the portal there and one side of the portal there, meaning that it will go through, hit the thing, and do that. Now if we time this correctly, we will land onto this platform. And now comes the other bit. Placing a portal over the button and dropping through the portal that we already have on the floor, we can land directly on the platform with the button, placing the cube on the button and providing us a window into the exit chamber.
As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
That's nice, GLaDOS. I'm sure there is no morbid or macabre implications of that.
All subjects intending to handle high-energy gamma-leaking portal technology must be informed that they may be informed of applicable regulatory compliance issues. No further compliance information is required or will be provided, and you are an excellent test subject.
So after all that legal schmuck, our basic idea here for this chamber is that we want to activate this lift so that we can get into the exit. How do we do that? Well, by taking a quick portal over the other side, we can see that it's activated by the high energy pellet getting onto this receptacle. But where is our high energy pellet? It's not here. Well, the high energy pellet is through that door. And how do we get through that door? Simple. box. Now, to get onto this chamber, as you can see it's full of black panels, we can't really teleport onto there, we're going to be using the momentum trick that we learned earlier. By placing a portal on this wall, and then placing a portal on the ground here and jumping through it, we can launch ourselves over onto the platform where the box is, taking the box and allowing us to move all the way down. Placing the cube on the button provides us access to this little alcove here. And what's in this little alcove is more parkour. We now have our high energy pellet. Taking these moving platforms across the edge, we can now get back over to the other side, remembering that it's the blue portal that it needs to stay in place, so we want to be constantly using our orange portal to move our high energy pellet. Avoiding the pellet so that we don't die, we can walk all the way back around here and all the way over there onto the top. Now that we're on the top, we can place the orange portal over the energy receiver.
Very good. A complimentary victory lift has been activated in the main chamber,
so that the energy pellet gets shot directly into the receiver, allowing us then to walk directly to the victory lift.
The Enrichment Center is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and grief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test. Thank you for helping us help you help us all.
So, I'm sure you remember this trick, right? Using momentum to push yourself forward. Well, now we have the greatest extension of that. By falling through and then placing another portal on the ground, we can extend our momentum so that we go even further, allowing us to get over this wall with the emancipation grill that would stop us from just shooting a portal over to the other side. There's more emancipation grill shenanigans going on in this chamber. Our basic goal is to get the energy portal into this chamber and then shoot it from the top. But how do we do that? Well, the energy pellets can move through the emancipation grill. We know that for sure. So our first step is actually getting the pellet into the emancipation grill. Once it's in there, we can remove our portal so that the pellet will be stuck in a loop here, and shoot it onto the top of the receiver using 2 portals. This is another extension of our place, fall out, and place another one to increase momentum boost, because now there are black panels involved. What we need to do to get things working is to have a portal placed already down here. So if we go over here, we can then place our portal on that wall, providing us already with enough momentum to launch us over the black panels, so that our second portal will be placed on the white panels. Using the same trick again, we're now left in this chamber. What is our goal? Well, our goal is to get the high energy pellet to the receiver, which is right next to each other. These 2 diagonal panels hold the key to moving that pellet over there. By placing 2 portals on either side, the pellet will deflect into the first portal, going sideways, and then deflect again on the second portal, going also sideways, hitting the receiver. Once again, using our lovely momentum trick to get out. We now have access to this part, which is otherwise known as a piece of bullshit. Why is this area a piece of bullshit? No, it just is. Placing a portal on the side here, we can jump onto this platform. However, there are more platforms. With the next platform coming through already, we can just move from this portal over here, place our blue portal there, and wait to return. There is a faster way to do this, however, it requires slightly more timing, and I don't want to do that. Now that our portal is in the second corner, we can also jump onto this one. And then all we need to do is to place 2 portals, one in the other chamber and one on our wall, and jump through. We're now in the final section of this chamber. Well, how do we solve it? Well, our lift is controlled by a high energy pellet receiver, and the high energy pellet is currently ricocheting off these 2. So what we want to do is get the high energy pellets to travel to the receiver. But there's a door in our way, so how do we open the doors so that the high energy pellet can hit its receiver? Well, as you can see, the high energy pellet is controlled by 2 buttons, one over there and one over there. However, if we go in, as you can see, they're both timed. The doors only open for about 6 seconds. The doors only open for about 10 seconds before closing again, which means we have to open both buttons in quick succession. So open 2 portals on either side, run across, place down our buttons so that we have time, and then very quickly open the portal so that the energy pellet can go through, activating the lift and allowing us to end the level.
Due to mandatory scheduled maintenance, the appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids. The Enrichment Center apologizes for the inconvenience and wishes you the best of luck.
I don't blame you.
So you see these fuckers. These are called turrets, and if you get into their line of sight, they will try and shoot the shit out of you. There are 2 ways to avoid this. One, you can use portals to very sneakily move around the turret, or you can do the more fun option, which is to brutally murder all of them. Oh lord, how much blood do I have? How many bullets can I take? My god. Anyway, by placing the button on the door.
Well done, Android. The Enrichment Center once again reminds you that Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance.
Anyway, after losing half of our blood cells,
The vital apparatus vent will deliver a weighted companion cube in 3, 2, 1.
this is our best friend, and we will love him forever.
This weighted companion cube will accompany you through the test chamber. Please take care of it.
By using the companion cube as a shield against the high energy pellet, we can then make our way through these tunnels and into this section. How do we get past this section? Well, we need to get up onto there somehow. How do we get up onto there? By activating these 3 lifts, of course. Now these 3 lifts are all powered by individual power sources, and each of these power sources is a high energy pellet receiver. So let's begin to solve them one by one. The first one seems fairly obvious. By placing a portal here, we can then get the high energy pellet to ricochet off the top of the wall back into the receiver. How do we do that? Well, I'm sure you remember the little tunnel that we had to go through before. That tunnel with the 2. That tunnel had some high energy pellets in them. That is where we get our answer. By placing the orange portal on the wall where the high energy pellet comes through, we can activate one of the 3 lifts. The second lift requires the high energy pellet to travel through this wall, move past the 2 doors, and hit this receiver. Now the doors are both activated by buttons, however we only have 1 box, so what will open the other door? The answer is simple. We will. Our blue portal is already very conveniently on the wall, which means that all we have to do now is go back and grab a high energy pellet, send it through an orange portal that we place, and it will then be set into the chamber containing the receiver. Perfect. Now all we need to do is stand over the button, crouch so that the high energy pellet doesn't kill us, allowing the pellet to hit its target.
The Enrichment Center reminds you that the weighted companion cube cannot speak.
So we've just gone and opened 2 of the lifts. Now, we're going to open the last one. By taking our trusty companion cube over to this section, all we have to do, is use it to deflect the high energy pellet onto the receiver. This will open all 3 of our lifts. By taking our best friend the companion cube across, we're now in the final area of this exit, as we can see by the exit sign. However, we're going to have to make a very great sacrifice.
You did it. The weighted companion cube certainly brought you good luck. However, it cannot accompany you for the rest of the test and, unfortunately, must be euthanized. Please escort your companion cube to the Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator.
To do this, we have to open up our incinerator, take our companion cube from the button, and place it inside the incinerator.
You euthanized your faithful companion cube more quickly than any test subject on record. Congratulations.
After killing our best friend, GLaDOS will open the door and allow us to finish the level.
The experiment is nearing its conclusion. The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
Anyway, this part of the test is relatively simple. All we have to do is get across the gaps. Ignoring the very creepy hallway that looks like someone died in it, it is now our job to use momentum to get ourselves across these walls.
That you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
This section of the test is all about momentum. Our entire purpose in life is to activate that button, because it will activate this door and allow us to leave the area. But we don't have anything to open that button with. So, to get there, we have to launch ourselves across. Now we have one of the most confusing parts of the game. This chamber over here. Our aim is to get this platform moving so we can get over there and press the button. But to get this platform moving in the first place, we have to activate this high energy receiver. Now to do that, we have to get our high energy pellet to go through that blue portal and hit this high energy pellet receiver. Send the pellet through first, then open the window. Now that we've got this thing moving, there is only one thing left to do. Brutally murder every single turret in this test chamber. Now that every single turret is dead, this apparatus over here will very thankfully stop shooting its bullets, allowing us to make it over to the other side of the testing chamber and press this button. Now what does this button do? This button opens this diagonal wall. But what does this diagonal wall actually do? Well, in its fully extended form, it allows us to launch ourselves across to the other side of the room onto the platform where that cube is, using a momentum point. By taking the platform across, as we did before, onto this platform, shoot one of our portals onto the wall here, shoot another one of our portals onto this wall, press the button, opening this, place a portal down here so that we can jump into it, placing a portal over here so that we can jump out of it, launch ourselves across the room, and grab our cube. We then parkour onto this lift and move ourselves across. But how exactly does that box help? Well, the answer can be gained by simply moving to the other side. By pressing this button, we can move that platform upwards, but by moving that platform upwards, that then provides us an opening into our previous chamber. We can then take our cube through and place it on this button, the button that was required before to open the door, setting ourselves free from this chamber and moving into the next part of Test 18. Now this is possibly the most fun part of this entire game.
Well done. Be advised that the next test requires exposure to uninsulated electrical parts that may be dangerous under certain conditions. For more information, please attend an Enrichment Center Electrical Safety Seminar. Welcome to the final test.
I'll just click through the...
When you are done, you will drop the device in the Equipment Recovery Annex.
So, this is the final test. Our goal is to get onto this platform, which will take us through the rest of the test. Now, how do we do this? Well, we basically want this high energy pellet to reach this receiver, which will then activate this platform. To do that, we can place one portal on one of the diagonal platforms, and the other portal on the other, creating our portal to go through this constant loop. When our time is right, we will then move the orange portal so that the high energy pellet will deflect from this wall straight onto the receiver. We then get on this moving platform and we reach the first obstacle, this wall. How do we surpass it? By opening it, placing a portal on one side, placing a portal on the other side. We can wait and very carefully time our jump through the portals. Our next obstacle is moving past this high energy pellet, and it's actually very easy. All we have to do is move the energy pellet through the two portals so that it ends up keep going below us. I wish it would shut up though. So I'm just going to do this and send it straight into the water. This is our final test, this wall here, and this is probably the easiest of the tests. All we have to do is simply wait until the time is right. So that when it comes to the wall, we can just jump onto this platform. And we have now reached the cave.
Congratulations. The test is now over.
Wait a minute.
All aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin. Rest assured that there is absolutely no chance of a dangerous equipment malfunction prior to your victory candescence. Thank you for participating in this Aperture Science computer-aided enrichment activity. Goodbye.
GLaDOS? You asshole. Anyway, we can of course avoid GLaDOS trying to burn us by placing one portal on this safe scaffold over here and placing another on the wall that we then jump through. We can escape our fiery end.
What are you doing? Stop it. We are pleased that you made it through the final challenge where we pretended we were going to murder you. We are very, very happy for your success. We are throwing a party in honor of your tremendous success. Place the device on the ground, then lie on your stomach with your arms at your sides. A party associate will arrive shortly to collect you for your party. Make no further attempt to leave the testing area. Assume the party escort submission position or you will miss the party.
Yeah, nah, something tells me GLaDOS isn't exactly to be trusted after she tried to literally burn us into a fire. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use our momentum trick from earlier to get onto that upper ledge. Our goal now is basically just to escape GLaDOS, because at this point, I don't want to die. to escape her, we can then fail to get up these stairs. Wonder how long it's been since these were serviced. Anyway, we can simply circumvent that by getting up to here and opening this door. Then moving to this testing area with another door that we now cannot go through. However, this is no problem for us because there's a door right here. All we have to do is shoot a portal through the mesh, get into this room, and open this door. We then make it into this area.
Where are you? I know you're there. I can feel you here.
From here, our goal is to get onto this bridge. This is going to be a bit more difficult than our previous momentum tricks. What we're going to be doing is we are going to be launching ourselves through this onto the top end, and once we fall through that portal, we're going to be placing a blue portal down on the ground if we can angle ourselves properly, and by doing that, we will then provide us with enough momentum to launch ourselves onto this block here. There we go. Moving through the disheveled rooms, we can have a look at some of our testing chambers and the suspiciously empty rooms that are supposed to be supervising them. You can now go on this walkway to this area over here. Now the inscriptions tell us to go up, and unlike GLaDOS, the inscriptions haven't tried to kill us, so we're going to listen to the inscriptions. Using our momentum trick, we can boost ourselves onto this platform.
You haven't escaped, you know. You're not even going the right way. Hello? Is anyone there?
We can now shoot ourselves down here.
Okay, the test is over now. You win. Go back to the recovery annex for your cake test. And we're all impressed at how much you won. The test is over. Come back.
Anyway, we're now going to solve the test again. And however, it's going to be much easier this time because we now have both portals. We don't need a cube to hold this door open anymore. We can just shoot a portal through, move off the door, shoot a blue portal, and go through. However, because GLaDOS wasn't ready for us or intending us to do this, there is no lift waiting for us. Instead, we fall through into this secret area.
Somebody cut the cake. I told them to wait for you, but they cut it anyway. There is still some left if you hurry back.
By crouching through there, we can make our way onto here. Our next goal is to get up onto that platform. By coming back around here, and moving up onto these platforms that go up and down, we can then see the top end of that platform. Now all we have to do is come back around, crouch, place the blue portal over the top of our head, and jump up onto the top of the platform. We then make our way onto this piston and onto this platform. Now there's a mesh we can't break through, but the panels on the other end are white, so all we have to do is place a portal and run back. Following the inscriptions tell us to get up. We can't climb the ladder because the rungs have all been removed. How convenient. We can see from this angle that the roof, or the wall of this upper area, has white panels, which allows us to jump through our wall portal into this upper zone. We can then continue fleeing into this area. By placing a portal on the top and very carefully angling ourselves to go through, we can then shoot ourselves onto this platform. Our next goal is to follow the inscriptions and get ourselves onto that platform. We can use our momentum trick. Using the brief moment in time when there is a gap, we can shoot portals through and make our way into this area. the descriptions tell us to go up, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Now our main goal here, as well as getting up, is avoiding getting crushed. The way that we can do that is to make sure that we land on one of the pistons that does not have a piston above it, and we can avoid getting ourselves bashed into the wall. From here we can then place a portal on this wall, which is coincidentally right next to where these two pistons are, and we can then walk through our portal over here onto these two pistons, very carefully avoiding getting crushed by this piston. So we're going to very quickly place a portal in this room and get out. By following the instructions, we can crawl onto these cube transportation pipes.
It's funny, actually, when you think about it.
We can then place a portal.
Remember
By placing an orange portal over here, we can then make sure that when we place a blue portal, we can walk onto the piston. We can then walk onto the piston and boost ourselves onto this platform. Following the inscriptions, we can then take ourselves down this chamber. Once we're in this chamber, we can come across through here and try, but fail, to get to the other side. It is here where we're met with these fuckers again. Brutally murdering all three of them. However, there's a hole in the ceiling. We can actually get out through here. The roof over here is a white panel, which allows us to transport ourselves over into this chamber. Our goal from here is to make our way onto this ledge over here. By portaling ourselves onto this pipe, we can jump onto this platform. From here, we can then escape into the hole in the wall into this chamber with a turret in it.
Hey.
By brutally sending the turret to its death. After brutally murdering the turret, the inscriptions tell us to get up onto this top platform. Well, this is where the momentum trick comes into play. After launching ourselves up onto this platform.
this is your fault.
Now that we're in this slightly more refurbished part of the Aperture Science facilities, immediately the first thing we notice is a locked door and an emancipation grill. Opening this door, we can see that we are in what appears to be a testing room. Pressing this button activates this. This is a different kind of enemy to everything we've seen before. It shoots rockets. By allowing it to lock itself, then fire a rocket, we can get it to break these windows and move into this parlor. However, we're not quite done with this thing yet. What we're going to do is we're going to shoot a blue portal onto this wall and save it for later. Moving into this room, we can now see a piece of glass that we need to get through. So what we're going to do is we're going to open a portal to our rocket and allow it to shoot, breaking the piece of glass. But we're not done with it yet. We need a cube to get up onto this ledge. So the way that we do that is we can break this cube transportation thing using our rocket fella. By allowing it to lock on and shoot a portal through it, we can then open a pathway through here. By getting our cube out, we can now crawl through this area and perhaps even take our cube with us. After we place our portal there, we can crawl back through our ventilation circuit and drop through this hallway. A few quick side portals and a game save later. We can now we can take our cube, we can make our way to this area here. We have landed ourselves in the middle of a torrent's den, and this is exactly what our cube is for. the last turret dead, we now have this entire chamber to ourselves. Our goal now is to get over onto that platform. Well, this is where our momentum trick comes into play. We can launch ourselves over this platform.
Activated. Are you still there? Good one.
Now, how do we get up there? There's no panels that we can see of, and there's no walls that we can shoot ourselves onto. Well, momentum. By placing our portal on the ground and another portal on the ground of the other chamber, then jumping off, we can shoot ourselves up into this chamber. We can just portal ourselves onto this chamber. Moving across the walkway on top of this deadly turret pit, we can now get ourselves through to the final section of Aperture. Through this door is the final boss of this game. We are about to see GLaDOS herself.
Well, you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it? Because despite your violent behavior, the only thing you've managed to break so far is my heart. Maybe you could settle for that, and we'll just call it a day. I guess we both know that isn't going to happen. You chose this path. Now I have a surprise for you. Deploying surprise in 5, 4... Time out for a second. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do you see that thing that fell out of me? What is that? It's not the surprise. I've never seen it before. Never mind. It's a mystery I'll solve later. By myself. Because you'll be dead. Where are you taking that thing? But if it were me, I'd leave that thing alone.
Contrary to what GLaDOS says, we do want to touch this thing. We want to incinerate it.
Okay, fine. Do touch it. Pick it up and just stuff it back into me. You're kidding me. Did you just stuff that Aperture Science thing, we don't know what it does, into an Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator? That has got to be the dumbest thing that... Whoa. Good news. I figured out what that thing you just incinerated did. It was a morality core they installed after I flooded the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin to make me stop flooding the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin. So get comfortable while I warm up the neurotoxin emitters. Huh. That core may have had some ancillary responsibilities. I can't shut off the turret defenses. Oh well. If you want my advice, you should just lie down in front of a rocket. Trust me. It'll be a lot less painful than the neurotoxin.
Now, we're not just going to sit there and die by either neurotoxin or a rocket.
Nice job breaking it, hero.
We can trick the turret into shooting at GLaDOS by placing a portal right below her. By shooting GLaDOS, we can force her to eject another one of these spheres. Our goal is to force her to eject all of her spheres and incinerate all of
That's
them.
it. I'm done reasoning with you. Starting now, there's going to be a score. I'm fine. I let you survive this long because I was curious about your behavior. Well, you've managed to destroy your head any faster. I'd just like to point out that you were given every opportunity to succeed. There was even going to be a party for you. I'd hit your best friend, the companion cube. Of course, he couldn't come because you murdered him. All your other friends couldn't come. Neurotoxic sarcasm quote. I could take a bath in this stuff. On the other hand, you're going to find its deadliness. Oh no, that's fine. Afterwards. What's your point anyway? Survival. Well then, the last thing you want to do is hurt me. I have your brain scanned and permanently backed up in case something terrible happens to you. Which it's just about to. Don't believe me? That's
How dumb you sound.
You've been wrong about every single thing you've ever done.
including this thing.
You're not smart. You're not a scientist. You're not a doctor. You're not even a full-time employee. Where did your life go so wrong? You're not smart. You're not interesting. Things have changed. The crack in the epidemic. I can't remember what information. I don't know how to manage.
now that we have killed GLaDOS, we can finally jump up and be free. That was Portal. I hope you enjoyed it.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense